Howdy everybody, Steve here, KM9G. Today, we're going to take a look at the Yaesu FT-70D. Let's get over and, well, take a look at it, like I said. I don't know what you were thinking I was going to do. A friend of mine is letting me borrow this so I can do a review for you folks. He's already got the upgraded diamond antenna SRH-77CA, and I like it. It is a relatively large antenna. Not a full 19 inches, but not a rubber duck either. And it is doing the job very well. This screen is very readable in the daylight. I'll get you some shots of this when it's not here. Right now I'm under a shade cover and it might be a little harder for you to see, but I can see it just fine. Might just be a little camera artifact, or I might just be talking out of my, school here. That's what I meant to say, talking out of school. What is this? This is the cheapest way, the most affordable way for you to get onto C4 FM or Wires X in Yaesu. This thing, I'll insert a little screen over here, but this is the entry-level product that Yaesu has. It's the FT-70D, next up is the FT-5D, then you get into mobile radios, the FTM 200, 300, or the new 500. And then after that, you're into used radios. So this is a good way to get yourself an entry-level Yaesu handheld that does C4 FM, which means you can get it onto hotspots and talk on the internet. And it is a pretty decent sized radio, 2 meters, 70 centimeter. We'll do some power testing here in a second, but I wanted to give you the overview of how it looks. It lights up orange in the dark when you push buttons. It's fairly easy to program. So let's program, and this is 146.625. This is the N9 PHS repeater in Siren. It's about 15 miles away or so. So it's 146.625 and you're on frequency, and then it is go into the menu by hitting the function key and squelch type. And I want a squelch type of tone for this one. We'll press function key again, press function key and 6 for code, and the PL tone for this is indeed 110.9. So we'll leave that at 110.9. We'll hit function again to save that. And now I want to store it to memory. So I'm going to long press the VM button for storing. And it's going to show me up a number 2 here, which is the next available memory location to write to. That's fine, or I can change it. I'm going to put it into 2. And then it wants me to give it a name. So I'm going to call this N9 PHS, and I'm going to hit the VM button here to store it, and that's a long press. And now if I switch, I'm in VFO mode. If I switch to memory mode, there's my N9 PHS saved, and I have 2 in here. I have my hotspot for my C4 FM, and I have my repeater for N9 PHS. And let's take a look. And there she is. She comes back. And I may be just out of range of this repeater. This thing puts out about 4 watts on high power. So let's check the power settings function, TX power, and we're at high. And you have low and you have mid. We're gonna stay at high. Okay, so let's try it. Kilo Mike 9 Golf on the N9 PHS repeater. Anybody out there? Yeah, I didn't even get the repeater tail when I transmitted that time. Kilo Mike 9 Golf on the N9 PHS repeater. Let's go take a look at power output. We are running into the MFJ 849 and we are using the dummy load in the background there. We're on 146.52. We're going to set the transmit power to high, and then we're going to try it. 3.99. Mid. 1.49. Low. 0.18. Now we're going to change bands. Transmit power high. 3.95. Transmit power mid. 1.6. Transmit power low. 0.18. Excellent. I will tell you, just about the only complaint I have about this thing is the volume control. You have to hold down volume on the side, and then while you're holding that down, you have to rotate the knob. I get that it's so that you can't accidentally control it, but I forget every single time. And if that's the only complaint I have, fine business. Let's show you some of the stuff that Ken sent along with the radio. Let's empty out this bag here. We have a power brick, and this looks like it's the official SAD-25, and output is 10.5 volts, 1 amp, 10.5 watts, and it's got a little teeny tiny barrel connector. So this will allow you to charge the radio off of AC power. And then he also sent along this is pretty neat. This is a USB adapter It is a smart step-up cable. Input is DC 5 volts, output is DC 12 volts, made in China, of course, where all the best stuff is made, right? So you can plug this into one of your typical USB wall warts that everybody has 1,000 of. And then on this end here, you can plug it into the adapter so you can charge your Yaesu radio over USB. So we could do USB charging a long time ago. And then one other thing is this little device right here. So what you can do with this is you can take Yaesu's somewhat proprietary microphone and speaker connector on the side and turn it into a K connector to use with all of your K accessories. There's some more fun stuff you can do with this. And then lastly, this is interesting, an SHC-27 from Yaesu, and this is a little booty, a little radio protector, a little case. You can tell the era that this came from. This is about 1994 time frame, where cell phones used to have these little booties that you could put on to protect your cell phone. You can still see everything that's going on, but it's not up to the standards of modern cell phone cases. And I personally would leave this off, but that's just me. I like living on the edge, unprotected from the wilds of the world. Let's take a look real quick at the owner's manual. The owner's manual is pretty thin for all the things that this radio can do, and I found it a little bit confusing because I wasn't 100% sure. Like I wanted to program in the Toad's talk group, and we'll show you how to do that in an upcoming video. And it just seemed to be like missing a key step here or there, and we were able to get it done, but it didn't make a lot of sense. And direct entry screen is what I was looking for, and I had to press this button, press that button, rotate the knob on the top, pat your head, and also have the call sign entered into the radio right. So there might be a more advanced manual out there, but this is the manual that it comes with. It's relatively English. It describes a lot of the things that are in it, but there is, as an example, this is the 2 pages worth of menus you go through, and there's 64 items. And one of the things I found really hard to do is how to delete characters when you're programming. Let me show you something. So I have N9PHS programmed in here. Let's do, let's switch back to VFO mode, and let's do 14652, and then let's turn tones off. And we don't need to have a code because there is no code. Oh. There we go, 146520, that turns off the repeater offset. And then I want to store this, so we long press. And 3 is good. And let's call this 2 meter call. So we'll do ABC 2, and then we'll do M, and then we'll do C. And so now I need to press the A, which is on the same key. So which button do I push to go that way? And it turns out you press the band button to go that way, and you press the mode button to go that way. It makes sense on the keypad, but I didn't see it in the owner's manual. And it might have just been me. It might have been obvious. But, once you get it done the first time, it's good, because it's done. And if you fumble through it, you can always redo it. So, all right, so I can hear that. That was fortuitous time-wise. So there's 2 meter call, my hotspot, and N9PHS. I programmed 3 frequencies in this from the front panel of the radio. It's painless. I'm not whining too loudly. It's painless. All right, so overall, I think the radio is a fantastic value, and the only reason why I don't personally own one of these is because when I was at Hamvention, I got a ridiculously fantastic deal on an FT-5D for not a lot more money than what this costs. Maybe $60 to $100 more. And considering the fact that normally the 5D is close to $500 or more, that's a fantastic deal. So this would have been my C4 FM radio if that 5D wasn't on such a good price. Fantastic radio. I'm happy with it. I like it. It's got all the quirks of every other radio out there. Maybe it has a few less quirks than every other radio that's out there. Oh, she's clean on 146.5 All right, let's look for harmonics on 446. So it looks like -20 versus -60. And that looks like it's the 3rd harmonic. Not bad. That's a quick overview of power output and programming in a repeater on the FT-70D. There will be links in the description down below where you can get this radio if you're interested, or where you can get some more information on this radio. Stay tuned to the channel because I'm going to have a video on how to set up a hotspot and program the radio to talk over the internet and get you on the Toads YSF room. There is a video right up here I think you'll enjoy next. Thanks for being awesome. I'll see you over there.